will be soon going to be shaking the Lulav and Etrog. So let us take a moment of silent meditation. And if you do have an Etrog Lulav, a 4 species, then go get them now. Go get them now. That's the time to use it. If you invested in that, if you invested in the kit, that's the time to utilize it. There are 2 options. Or that the magic works and then it will work online as well, or that there's no magic and then we're just fooling ourselves. I choose the first thing. I choose the first option, okay? The magic is going to work via the computer. That's what's going to happen.
Amen.
And yeah, exactly. Now it's about prosperity. It's about bring all elements together and shaking that, and to create the noise of the rain, and we invite rain. The rain bring the harvest and the abundance, the prosperity. It's about us blessing the yield with the dew, with the rain, as we said before. And we pass the hard elements, the judgment elements of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and now it's kind of the reward. And now it's when it's going to be settled for the whole year, the amount of abundance and prosperity. Those are matters that it concerns us. Okay, those are matters which concerns us, and we like to make sure that we are putting it straight and right with God, whatever comes to prosperity and abundance and livelihood. So if you look on 571, the instructions are rather simple. You hold in your right hand, here I'll have here, Jody will. In your right hand, you hold the Lulav tip up. In your left hand, you hold the Etrog tip down. You hold them together, and then you say the blessing. And now I want to say something. There is you should shake it first left, first right. Never mind. Shake it all directions. Okay. we are online. There are only 2 people here on the sukkah. Only the Jordan family in the sukkah. So with respect. Okay. And let's say the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al netilat lulav.
And first, because it's the first time.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'echiyanu v'kiyimanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh.
Okay. Now shake forward. Shake. I want to have some forward, right, behind, left, up, and down. Okay. Forward, right, behind, left, up and down. 6 corners, six direction, exactly. Shake. Yeah. Religion is not rational, okay? Religion is not rational. Yeah, exactly. Good. Yeah. Yeah. Prosperity for all. Hashem, we mean it, huh? Yeah. Exactly, an abundance. Toda Rabba. Good. Who is in the sukkah now? Seriously, other than the Jordan family, anyone else in the sukkah? Janice, very good. That's the way to do it, Janice. Good. If you want to come to Shek during the week, anyhow, Rabbi Julia invites you to her sukkah, I invite you to my sukkah, and we'll sort you out. And I said it yesterday, people were shocked. What? There isn't a sukkah in shul? In the Torah, it doesn't say thou shalt build a sukkah in shul. It says everyone must build a sukkah and sort himself or herself. So, with respect. Good. So that has covered. Again, in religious life, there are rational, theological, deep element, and there are basic primal things. And this is a basic primal thing when you kind of express the desire of us from God to a blessing. 565. the tradition is shake while the Hodu LaDonai Kitov. To honor all the nation of the world. In that sense, Sukkot is a festival of peace. Okay, so that's about that. I'm closing that. We have one more obligation to the protocol, and that's Ecclesiastes. We read chapters, elements of Sefer Kohelet, Ecclesiastes, and it's got to do with the prosperity, the abundance. The King Solomon as an old person reflecting back. Here we are. This is the end of the agriculture year. We have collected all the harvest. We are looking at what we've gained, and we are saying a bit like King Solomon, what is the value of what we have collected? So I've asked two people to read, and I will read also a short part. I've asked Catherine Pick, and I've asked Ruth Yarden. Let's see who is with me. Ruth, are you there?
A season is set for everything, a time for every experience under heaven, a time for being born, a time for dying, a time for planting, and a time for uprooting the planted, a time for slaying and a time for healing, a time for tearing down and a time for building up, a time for weeping and a time for laughing, a time for wailing and a time for dancing, a time for throwing stones and a time for gathering stones, a time for embracing and a time for shunning embraces, a time for seeking and a time for losing, a time for weeping and a time for discarding, a time for ripping and a time for sewing, a time for silence and a time for speaking, a time for loving and a time for hating, a time for war and a time for peace. What value then can the man of affairs get from what he earns? I've observed the business that God gave man to be concerned with. He brings everything to pass precisely at its time. He also puts eternity in their mind, but without man ever guessing from first to last all the things that God brings to pass. Thus I realized that the only worthwhile thing there is for them is to enjoy themselves and do what is good in their lifetime. Also, that whatever a man does not eat and drink and get enjoyment out of all his wealth, it is a gift of God. I realize too that whatever God has brought to pass will recur evermore. Nothing can be added to it, and nothing can be taken from it. And God has brought to pass that men revere him. What is occurring occurred long since, and what is to occur occurred long since, and God seeked and pursued. And indeed, I've observed under the sun, alongside justice there is wickedness, alongside righteousness there is wickedness. I mused, God will doom both righteousness and wicked, and there is a time for every experience and for every happening. So I decided, as regards men, to disassociate them, the divine beings, and the fact that they are beasts. For in respect of the fate of man and the fate of beasts, they have one and the same fate. As the one dies, so dies the other, and both have the same life breath. Man has no superiority over beasts, since both amount to nothing. Both go to the same place. Both come from dust, and both return to dust. Who knows if man's life breath does rise upward, and if a beast's breath does sink down into the earth? I saw that there is nothing better for man than to enjoy his possessions, since that is his portion. For who can enable him to see what will happen afterward?
Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach, everybody.
Yeah.
Chag
Go
Sameach,
have-
everybody, and thank you.
Thank you.
Chag
That's the
Sameach to
right word.
everybody in
That's the right word.
service.
Chag Sameach, everyone.
Thank you.
Chag Sameach, Leonard.
Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach, everyone. Hey, Joe.
Yes.
Joe Trupper.
Hi.
Hey, Eva Margaret.
Chag Sameach, Rabbi.
Chag Sameach.
Thank you for the
Good to
service.
see you, אלנה. דרישת שלום ותחזיקו מעמד. אני קורא את העיתון, בא לי לבכות, תאמיני לי.
Amen. Bye.
תשאל אותי מה אנחנו עוברים כאן. חג שמח, קתרין.
חג שמח, everyone.